Building series, I've put out two, I won't call them simpler decks, but much more approachable decks. This is definitely what I would call a grinder. Now, in the history of Epic, there have always been these 3-color, 4-color control decks, and they need a lot of time to set in. Expect a couple of losses to get all synergies and things working on. This is a deck that was before the ban of Blind Faith, and I just kind of slapped in 3-second wins. I'm taking it for a spin. So let's start with some of the weird cards and we'll go from there. Let's start up here. So in order to get, actually, let me pull out. You see I have 6 good gold cards, 3 free gold cards, 20 evil, 10 free, 4 of wild and 2 free, then 10 from sage and 5 free. You're going to be seeing almost a greatest hits sort of thing, but there's going to be a few other bits that you might find interesting. Inheritance of the Meek. The fact that you can fire this off on an opponent's turn, banish all non-token champions. Sometimes you get in trouble with that. Other times you don't. The meta that this was designed for was a much more open one, and in some of those wild sage games that you will see just a ton of. You know, if you see a lot of these in the construct, you'll see a lot of wild sage combinations. This does quite a good number. The fact it can draw 2 or, and operate on the opponent's turn is pretty good. It's not limited to your turn only. Inner Peace might seem odd because you want this to be in a deck that has a higher count of gold cards in good. 2 of them, and basically if you get them back, you get them back. But 10 life might just give you the buffer you need to find your win con, and if you start to juggle them, not bad. Urgent Messengers puts down 2 blockers, and you draw 2 cards. This is a card that's very disposable. I have no problems on the check pass, which is when you send over your turn with your gold still intact just to see what they want to do. And then I'll just play this off. Like, I'll get 2 cards, 2 blockers, see where this goes. Most people don't feel the need to wipe a board if 2 humans are just sitting there. Second Wind. So this is just more life gain. It's not nearly as good as the banned card Blind Faith, which if you've never seen it, don't worry about it because I don't believe it's ever coming back to Epic. I think it's just perma-banned. But here you have gain 5 life and recycle. It's a free spell. More life for control decks. You're just trying to stabilize. You're trying to wear through your opponent's big tricks. You're trying to wear through their pump, their initial attack opportunities, their ability to surprise you. And so let's move on. Drain Essence. If you're going to play a 4-color control deck, this is in almost all of them just because it pops decent size champions and gets you 9 back. So you notice there's a lot of life coming back in this, but I don't feel like throwing a Kark in here. Like, I don't feel like I'm going to be creeping over 60 anytime soon, but I feel like I can hold a comfortable 40 or so life points. Drinker of Blood. This is going to be part of a combo finish, and also just the fact that it pairs well with some of your destroy effects and everything else. But with all the tokens and stuff that are going to be generated, I'll be coming back to this. This can end the game out of nowhere. So this is actually almost like the combo finish of a control deck. So it has its win con almost boiled down to like 9 cards. Medusa, if you're running high evil, this is one of the better cards. It comes in, shoots whatever one it can't block. Finding loyalty to in this. If you play conservatively, you'll see me try and play around here. This more almost every time will hit loyalty, but don't be afraid to ambush it out if you need a 6/8 to block. Plague. If you need to, you can get 2 cards out of this with the draw and recycle. 1 damage to clear out a bunch of humans. So it could combo if there are a bunch of humans sitting out and you have your Drinker of Blood. But also, it's another break on your turn. So instead of the 2 cards that Apocalypse will give you, the fact that this can also sweep out a bunch of humans or get some final points in, or even put a point on a player. There are enough champions that you have to worry about. The most noble one is just that imp. Let me bring him up right here. I'll show you. Where are we? Oh, come on. And no, he's here. Here we are. Thought Plucker is one of the more dangerous cards against a control deck like this because it being unblockable, it has ambush, it's going to trigger at least once. If it keeps triggering, you need this thing dead. This thing cannot do more than trigger once. If it triggers more than once, you're in some trouble. Anyway, back to some of our cards. In a high evil deck, this is pretty good. It's 3 bodies for 1, so it's an army and a can. It boosts up your demon tokens, which are there are more ways to get more demons if you so choose. But also 2 damage to the opposing champions, clears out wolves, clears out zombies. And the meta this was designed for was very much expecting Xanos. Let's bring him up. Or her, them, they. Where are we? Here we go. Brings up Xanos, and Xanos is an army in a can. There were at the time this deck was designed an expected amount of evil control decks where Xanos was basically the centerpiece. Reaper, this thing it does. Admittedly, they get a demon left. Now, this is much better against Wild. And some of the other fattier cards, from Good, Sage, whatever, but much better against Wild, where they have a higher consistency. Oh, here's a dragon. You're like, I'm just going to turn it into a demon. You don't lose life for doing this. That's very important. 7/9, meaning it survives a lot of low-level combat. It survives Draka coming in swinging. It's not fragile. It doesn't die to any pinpoint removal damage based. There isn't any damage, single shot damage that's going to take this out. Hurricane can take it out. That's about it. The one shot Soul Hunter. It's in there just to be Soul Hunter. It fights Wild pretty well. It fights any heavy ground combats. They don't want to keep fighting with this. And in this deck, also a fun fact of this, there are many times I will end my turn at above the hand limit. And if you got to pitch a card, you pitch Soul Hunter. It'll come back. It'll work. Zombie Apocalypse 3 count. It breaks on their turn, putting out a bunch of zombie tokens. You actually want this. And that's going to come back to, where are we? Drinker in Blood. You'll notice so many of these things leave tokens alone, or, oh, look, I make a bunch of zombies left over. If I end up with enough zombies, and then I'll skip ahead right here to Wither, I wither those zombies. If Blood Drinker's in play, that could be game over, out of nowhere. Corpse Taker, generally to bring back something you need. Obviously, if it stays in play, keep banishing cards. Okay, no big deal. Plentiful Dead, you'll see as I play, if I do magic at this, this is definitely a control card. Getting a 2/2 tacked on for 1 health, it's worth it just to kind of, keep the ground gummed up. Rax's Curse, shooting zeros. In a true control on control match, the zeros are what breaks the game. Muse is a 0. You have Force Mage Apprentice is a 0. I know there's a couple others you do kind of want shot dead on sight. The demon, is it the Guilt Demon or whatever his name is? Yeah, Guilt Demon. There's a 0. It has the ability to shoot some of these things and still do some business. Unquenchable Thirst. This is a carryover from exactly the deck I brought it from. I haven't had a chance to play it yet. It seems a little odd, but the fact that you get to deal the damage, you get the banish cards, and gain health back, and it's a free card. I'm open to it. I'm sure you use it just to kill a bunch. I think it's basically there because it's a 0 kill, and you can kill off gold valued smaller bodies that otherwise you might not be able to. This isn't a deck that really relies on its discard pile, so exiling those evil cards, we'll see. I mean, it has 20, so it should be usable. Ancient Chant, this deck is going to lay very heavy on being efficient with its gold. This card fits in there perfectly. Lesson Learned, reusing events from your discard pile, awesome. There's a fun little ability to use Lesson Learned with Ancient Chant. If Ancient Chant's in your yard, you use this to play Ancient Chant, which will draw the 2 cards, and then because Lesson Learned banishes it, you end up drawing 3 cards. It's fine. It's kind of what control decks do. Sea Titan, it sets up good tempo. It's untargetable. It's an 11/14. It's a beast. Single Wave of Transformation. I surprisingly have almost no trouble finding this. It's another board wipe, but it sets up more 2/2s to die to Wither with Blood Drinker. Amnesia, because you need to be able to clear out their yard. Arcane Research, you just remove whatever cards you don't need, and it will find you probably one from the top. This is as close to a search card as we get in the format. Keeper Secrets, it's a 0 drop. It gives you the access to recycle if you keep this around long enough. The fact that it can come in and take a card right out of their yard, When this came in, you were talking about Kark decks, and you were talking about, where are we? We run it ourselves. Stuff like Inner Peace. Recall is probably one of the more universally used mechanics, and you need to be able to handle recall. And we're going to get down here. Kong, it's efficient. It's basically a slow Medusa, whereas Medusa is fast because it has ambush. This just comes in. It'll take out most targets that it aims at. It's a big body to fight with. Surprise attack, obviously just being more efficient. Dropping bodies when you have to. Dropping Reaper. Dropping Raka. I'm sure. Why is this thing not scrolling? Dropping Raka at ambush speed is pretty good. And then we're going to round out with 2 flash fires. It's a backup to Wither. It's also the ability to draw 2 cards. I'm gonna try and get 2 games in with this. So let's get ourselves back out. I'll pause it as we set ourselves up. Let's go into new game, constructed, spell slinger. So I'm gonna pause. All right, we managed to get ourselves into a game. Are we recording? We're recording. Okay. So I've obviously have no idea what they're doing. Cards I want to send away. I don't need a Corpse Taker this early. I don't feel like I need a second wind this early. I don't have any business. So I'm going to try and get some business. I'm sending 3 cards away. I'm keeping the Sweeper, keeping the Ancient Chant. That looks like okay business. I'm not like thrilled with it, but it's playable. When it comes to our turn, I'll probably be doing a lot of check passes. You'll be seeing that. That's not the worst thing, but this is definitely a very slow deck to kind of get into. They pitched 1 or 2 cards there themselves. Now I have Battle Pass turned on. If you've not turned that option on, this is a deck that has to be very conscious of its clock. I'm gonna obviously just be talking, but sometimes if I go quiet for a second, it's gonna be because I'm just trying to keep the clock in my favor. You really have to be conscious of the clock. It can eat away very quickly if you're not keeping an eye on it and your priorities and everything else. Okay, so they're doing the right away to draw 2. That seemed odd. Are they going to play any zeros to go with that? Because if not, that's a little odd. There we go. There's a 0. Not too concerned about that guy. I'll probably Kong it on my turn. I'm going to draw 2 myself. Pass to opponent. They send it back to me. And I'll drop a Kong right on your guy. Boom, Kong. Because now I have the board presence. They don't. They can they can respond. There's definitely stuff they can do. They can come back, shoot, steal, do whatever. And I have a Sea Titan backup. And obviously, if they end up stealing my Kong, which I'm not really expecting for it to get stolen. That was a very odd play for that Rain of Fire to get cycled so early, especially without knowing what I'm playing. But, I guess if you need cards, you need cards. And you can see right now, I'm already up about 45 seconds. They're doing that just to draw 2 cards. Either they kept a very weird hand, just assuming that they could, that's a lot of draw 2s for a deck that does not appear to be controlled. Looks like they're looking to put down a wide board and try and come in. There we go. We got a Triceratops. Got a card draw. That's fine. Back to my turn. I'm going to get a card back in my hand. There we go. All right, it comes back to me. You see I'm up by about a minute. Oh, they're just making it so tempting for this plague. So with all this stuff out there, I'm going to attack him with the Kong to see what they're going to do. I have no problem wasting this. I mean, if they want to double block, they want to double block. This thing can take out, 2 bodies. That's fine. I'm up by over 60 seconds. I'm going to keep mentioning that. Ooh, they're giving the guy +5, +5. And it's still my turn. This is going to be fantastic. This is absolutely fantastic. Okay, so ready? So they pump their guy up nice and good. I can drop in the Medusa if I want to do it. But realistically, I have no problem just killing everyone because they spent their gold. I'll spend mine. I'll still end up ahead. I'll do it. I'll just break everything. It's fine by me. Why waste time? Battle pass, end of the turn. Now I have to keep in mind my hand. See, that's what I was talking about. My hand size is too big. I'll drop Ancestral Chant because even if that gets banished, I still get a card out of it. That's fine. I could have done Inner Peace, but I don't have the ability to recall that quick enough. See if they're going to walk into this and drop in another guy. I mean, they could just be putting burn at my face. What do we got? We only have one in the yard. Ooh, they are chewing up that clock. That's fine by me. Pyrosaur. And it's hasty. Ooh, look at the tech. I'm going to 2 for 1 of them right now. He's going to come in. Okay, they're just loading that board up. Okay. Okay, so let's try some tricks. Medusa comes down. I show him 2 cards that are inconsequential. I shoot his big guy. See if he wants to do anything. Alright, we still only got 1 of each. Yeah, I mean, I can do that. I can use up all my zeros and get some business out of this. I'm going to let it ride for right now. Start my turn. Ooh, and a lesson learned. Nice. Let's see if he goes for it and blocks with his dinosaur. Just waiting on them to realize that they can block, I guess. And they're going to exile the... Oh, they made him nice and huge. Look at that stuff. So they spent all that. I'll let them declare blockers, see what they want to do. Comes in, blocks with her 12. Do I assign my damage? I assign my damage. Because I only need to deal 6. 2, 4. That's a lot of stuff. I don't really think I actually want to tip my hand on any of this. Let's just clear their board. Just clear it all the way. Break all the champions. That's fun. Not the most efficient use of anything, but I'm trying to mind the clock. I'm trying to mind my position. I don't want to put down the drinker blood too early because I don't have it set up for the kill. I think I want to keep that thing safe. That's why I'm only running 2 of them and not running the full 3. Is I don't feel like I can waste them. I want to only put them down once the field is ready. I mean, they still got a pretty good sized grip. We're, even on cards. We're, got a bunch of stuff cleared out. I have 1 recall in my discard. They have a bunch of stuff. So I would feel way more comfortable with an Amnesia or something in an open field like this. But he has not shown any signs of being in a second color. This almost looks like a pure wild deck. Now, this could be one of the those scenario decks where it's like, hey, play 3 games with this all Sage deck or whatever. Or it could just be a wild, heavy deck that only runs so many splash cards, whether it's Sage for Amnesia and a couple of tricks or stuff like that. Well, there's something. So he has some recall. Just waiting for what else we're going to do. I think I'll probably throw an inner piece down once if they use their gold, I'll throw down inner piece. If not, I'll take the check pass. There we go. There's the big boy. I'm bouncing that thing with the Sea Titan. Ooh, battle cry. That's a little scary. That's there. Pass it back to the opponent. See what they want to do. Okay. Nice. That's almost exactly what I want to see. So we're going to bounce the big boy. Actually, we're going to save that because we can just break them at any time. There isn't anything that's all that give them indestructible. I'm just going to make one play and pass. I mean, they could surprise attack and drop it. That's not unheard of. But luckily, unaltered, my Sea Titan can handle a 12-10. Now, of course, if they pump that with Battle Cry or whatever, we have a different discussion point, but, we'll play that by ear. If you look over at the clock, I'm up by almost 3 minutes now. I don't know if it's going to come to time. It's going to come very close. They're going to be they're going to be dangerous if they're not keeping an eye on the clock. They're not minding their checks. And now I'm definitely not saying that the clock is everything, but for a deck with as many moving parts as control decks have, I'm not in a position to kill unless they just let me swing in with my Sea Titan, and it has to be 3 times at this point to make it work, which that's not sane. So I'm not comfortable. So okay, he's gonna draw 2. Okay, I'd much rather see that thing as a draw 2 than actually as damage coming at me. I'm gonna pass off to them. They have a trillion cards. There aren't many free cards in a pure wild deck that actually no, you have Lash, you have Rage. I mean, there's some stuff that does scare me. How many cards is he going to reveal? It's gonna be a bunch. It's gonna be watch. It's gonna be all 7. I'm just getting dropped. So 12 damage to a champion target. That's fine. I gotta keep tapping. Kong, Chomp, Breakthrough, Dinosaur, another Scara, Triceratops. Wow, they have some fattier stuff. They spent their gold, so let's break their 5/3 because they think they're being tricky. Wow, he's got a handful of fat. I need a sweep ready. Bring back my Ancestral Chant. There we go. Pass the opponent. I only have 2 cards in the yard, so at most I have a 3-point Unquenchable Thirst, which, that's not doing much. He's probably going to put down the Pyrosaur in the next turn if my Demon's still alive. Swing in, feel like he's winning, and, smash square into my Sea Titan. It also means that my Blood Drinker is not a viable candidate to be dropped because it'll just die right to that Pyrosaur. He discarded a Chomp. Yes, I have a Banish. That's what I wanted to see. Let's try and trap him out now. Okay, so I have an out. Doesn't matter what they throw at me, I have an out. I'll save the Unquenchable Thirst for their Pyrosaur coming at my face. I mean, I'm still going to be taking the damage, but it's something. Battle Cry. Bold. All right, we're playing ball, huh? Whatever. I have the inheritance of the meek. Can I get big enough to kill that guy without blowing everything that I got? I can deal 3 to it. Either way, my guy's going to die. So let's get it moving. Got to keep an eye on that clock. Almost a 4-minute difference. If I want to force them into it, I probably do have to get that guy off the board. So let's do that now. So I'll at least gain 3 life back. Scars off the board. I'm going to force them to spend their gold, and we will see. I can still get away with a flash fire and a quenchable thirst to kill off their guy. They spent their gold. I'll get 2 more cards in hand. We will see. Although the Inheritance of the Meek will get me back. The recall on Inner Peace, their name was eluding. I was going to call it Good Health for a second. I'm like, that's not the right word. He is just loaded. Wow, look at these zeros. This is nuts. Okay, sure. And clearly, are they going to? They weren't going to drop them after Skara. Well, the worm hatching beforehand. I get it, but I'm waiting on it. I'm just waiting for their play. Heck, 2 flash fires right now will just clear out most of their garbage. I don't even have to use the Inheritance. Chooses to cancel. So they were trying to play something and they canceled. I think they still got a T-Rex. There it is. Oh, I have to Inheritance now. This is too much. This is perfect. Banish all their stuff. Recall. I don't know what else to say, and I'm just going to eat up the clock. I didn't see many ambush cards from them. I don't think I even saw any ambush cards from them. I think this is a very straightforward, your turn, my turn side of decks. Looking at about a 5-minute gap in time there. If they have more zeros in hand, but it looks like they dropped everything. They definitely thought that they were gonna knock me the F out. I'll tell you that much. Keep the 2 flash fires to deal with that Pyrosaur, but of course that would cost me 8 life total. That's not gonna be pleasant. Putting down the Drinker Blood's not gonna get me anywhere because he's just gonna kill with that Pyrosaur. I probably can just bait them out by doing Inner Peace. Actually, I probably should just do Inner Peace. I'll let them get their ambush in. We'll play their game. Now, mind you, I'm not saying that was a smart play, but I would like to have my gold available on their turn for the Ancient Chant. Here we go. There's an ambusher. I can wither him immediately, and then I can Unquenchable Thirst to get some life back. But the wither would also take care of that Pyrosaur. I think I want them to overcommit to the board. I want to see them waste their gold. Have them overcommit to the board. There we go. Are they choose? I don't know what they're. The only thing I think of cancel is that they're trying to make a play and not. Now, interesting. That Brachiosaur, whether or not they spent that gold will actually hold over for the rest of the turn. So they're coming in. Ew, ew. I can deal 4 across the board. I'm not in a good position. I'm really in a bad position. I'm in a bad way here. If he comes in for the full 18, I'm in a bad way. I think I don't have any zeros I can flash in. Let's do Battle Pass. I think I just do Battle Pass. And if they said they're done, I'm going to draw some cards. Try and get another Wrath right there. Nice, 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 nice. So I'm going to gain... See, I'm at 9. I don't know how much pinpoint they're going to be able to throw at my skull. If I break all the champions, I have 2 tokens I'll get back. I think I almost want to do that. Because they will get, well, actually, they'll get an F ton. Oh, no, but I do. That's literally the reason I want to do this. I want to break all the champions. Right now, no questions asked. They have a pile of them. Because I have Wither and I have Flash Fire, I can handle this on my terms for free. I could have done it on their turn, but that probably would have been the smarter ones. The Inner Peace on my turn, Zombie Apocalypse on their turn. That would have been what I wanted to do. And then Blood Drinker on mine. Yep, I messed up the combo finish. Well, you watched it here first. I'm an idiot. Interesting. Sure. I mean, if you want to do things that way. Yeah. Let's see where this goes. Hand size is too big. Guess I just have to hit pass and go. They're not going to let me do anything else. That's kind of BS-y. Let's put down the Flash Fire and go. They only got like 2 minutes left on their clock, so. Wither, take out that whole team. Because if I had just timed that better, that would have been game over, lights out. Battle Pass, I probably could have played my Inner Peace right there. Well, that thing doesn't have Blitz, I'm not concerned. I'll let him play even more guys, making my inheritance that much more valuable. I can't believe I missed the combo. I had the combo finish. I was even talking about it, and I didn't misclick. I didn't put the right pieces in order. So, as I said, this is something you need to get a bunch of practice with. So that's coming in. It's going to have haste. It'll end up dealing 4 to me immediately, and he'll get first priority if he's got like well, it doesn't have a lightning bolt. So I got to clear their board. There's no other choice on that. I just have to clear their board, and it'll be back to them. I brought an Inner Peace back to my hand. Battle Pass. They're on a mint 33. If I can, there we go, start my turn. I'm going to start my turn. I'm probably just going to play Inner Peace immediately. Just absolutely Inner Peace. Get myself out of shooting range before they don't even have a chance to shoot me yet. In case it was a one goal like Fires of Rebellion or something. I don't even know. I haven't seen anything to indicate that, but I'm not taking any chances. There's a Hunting Raptor. All right, do I have enough cards to shoot that guy? 1, 2, 3. I can deal 4 to that thing. I do not have enough. Still might. I think I can combo it. So if I go here, I deal 2 to everything, including myself. I'm gonna take all these out of the equation, deal 4 to that, getting 4 back. Puts me at 13 and keeps his direct damage off the map. And then I'm going to hopefully just be able to juggle Inner Pieces, because if they do not have the ability, yeah, I'm going to time them with almost a 5-minute gap, if not more soon. The Inner Piece juggle is what's going to do it. Because don't get me wrong, they can definitely put down the damage if they were given infinite time. That doesn't even concern me. It doesn't have haste. It doesn't have blitz. Boom, Inner Piece. Brings back other Inner Piece. And I'll bounce that with a Sea Titan. Yeah. So I'll just go Inner Peace, bring back Inner Peace. And basically, at that point, they should almost just vomit in their hat. Like, just take the hat off their head, puke right in it. Because at 36 seconds, trying to deal 30 points and the priority pass to me, okay, your guy can be a 23. I'm sure. and you shot your own guy. That was definitely a misclick. I know that was a misclick. They just played it to get the cards. Oh, okay, this is, and then they shot their own guy. Sometimes misclicks are just entertaining. Yeah, 12 seconds. I can literally sit here and just dog it out. I could take that hit round those. I'm not going to. I'm going to inner piece juggle. Yeah, it's a 22. Inner piece juggle. Do all your tricks. Time. Right there. Time. So, yeah, unfortunately, I missed the combo finish. I'll be kicking myself about that. But this, like I did say, this deck can time out people. So, I'll end it there. Maybe I'll get a few more plays in with it. It's nauseating.